Welcome back to Ben Salutes. And when I was a kid, it wasn't considered illegal to feed your kid hot sauce. Yeah, I know. I'm reviewing this show again. But can you blame me? It's my all-time favorite cartoon, and I can't help but to keep talking about it. Sure, you may think I've said all that could be said in my previous videos, but there's actually a little more I have to say about it. So, get ready for a boost in your mood. Here is my third salute on Hi Puffy AmiYumi. Well, I've already talked about the main characters and some of the supporting characters, but there are a few more characters I left out. Let's talk about Chad. No, let's not, cause I frickin' hate Chad. Let's instead talk about Chad's hot girlfriend, Janice. Janice only appeared in the series once as Chad's girlfriend, and I somewhat liked her. Even though she only had 4 lines of dialogue, her presence was felt and she was fun to look at. I don't know why, but for a girl who wears glasses and dresses conservatively, she was actually good looking. Maybe glasses do help girls look hotter. I wonder how that works. Not to mention, she was voiced by Janice Coe, given the lowest pitched voice I've ever heard her do. To Janice Coe to make a girl who sounds like she's stoned and tired at the same time still sound hot. Anyway, Janice was a great character that proved that less truly is more. There was also Domo, AmiYumi's pet dog. Domo was the oddest dog you could ever have. Why? Well, what do you think Domo likes to eat? Dog food? Nope. People food? Nope. Little kids? Why would you even think that? And no. Domo eats, out of all things, cat food. Yep, Domo, a dog, eats cat food. That's so originally adorable. Never in my memory has a show ever had a dog that eats cat food. Props to this show for being different. Another thing that makes Domo cool is he's a dog that wears glasses. Why would he ever wear glasses? Why is the sky blue? Nobody knows, it's just awesome. It also helps Domo to look a lot like Kaz, which helped give Kaz somebody to bond with. Finally, the highlight of Domo was he was often seen in episodes involving him and John King and Tekidai, and Domo often led to the kiddies to get in big trouble, leading to a lot of hilarious situations. A great canine character of animation that proves thinking outside the box is a great idea. Going on misadventures that dealt with their music. There's not much room for villains, but that space is filled with some great villains as well. There was, of course, Julie, but this show was also home to other awesome villains, like the Talent Suckers. These are a heavy metal band made up of vampires. And, of course, these guys put the suck in suckers. AmiYumi's talent. And that was their last role as villains. Afterwards, they became comedic characters as they starred in their own episodes as they dealt with cleaning up theaters and dealing with zombies. Fans of the show often hate the Talent Suckers, but I strongly disagree. I think their episodes are hilarious, and they're pretty funny characters. Nikolai, and how these guys always screwed everything up. Think of the Three Stooges, only vampires. Anyway, these guys were great characters for the show, and I wish they made more appearances. AmiYumi's foes, Eldwin Blair, a strict businessman who tries to find a space to build his pesky parking lots, oftentimes trying to take away a poor farmer's farm and knocking down a squirrel's tree. That dirty, rotten son of a... Anyway, AmiYumi often foil this guy, and they show him that they can protect the environment better than Captain Planet. I love this guy because I am too against the destruction of the environment, so it was fun watching him get what he deserves, even though he was the winner in Arbor Day. Snake? How about a cartoon that has a giant talking snake? Meet Sonikura, a monster that appears out of nowhere in the episode Super Zero, in order to try to get rid of Achan. This girl was awesome! You know me, I'm the monster boy, so I love anything with monsters in it, especially giant talking snakes. Was a great villainess and truly proved how epic this show could get. important supporting characters that appeared in this show. Some more characters were the witch nurse that appeared in Oldie AmiYumi, Sauerkraut Malone from Chowdown, Ami's granny from Granny, a hilarious old-fashioned woman who loves to hit Kaz with her umbrella, and that's about it. This show rarely relied on supporting characters, but it had some of the most interesting and funny characters you could ever think of. Discuss some of the complaints that people complain about this show. One of them being the ugly background characters. Don't you see? This is a genius move. It makes Ami and Yumi even hotter than they already are. That's an amazing idea. Make your main characters appeal more by making their background characters less appealing. Genius! Also, they're background characters. What the heck were you expecting? Supermodels? Another complaint is that this show is an insult to anime, and that's trying too hard to be like an anime. Just because some of the characters' mouths move in anime style doesn't mean it's trying to be like an anime. It's just trying to support the fact that the girls are Japanese, and what better way to do that than have them in semi-anime style. Plus, I don't see it as an insult, I see it as a tribute. If an American cartoon is using anime style, then that seems like an honor to me. In fact, in one episode, Yumi even joked that American cartoons are terrible, but then she negates her previous comment because she knows she's an American cartoon character. Also, seriously anime fanboys and girls, stop finding ways to be ticked off at American cartoons. If you like anime, fine. Don't go blasting every other animation style just because you think anime is God's work. Now, back to saying good things about this show. I guess the last thing I could do is break down each season and give a synopsis of all of them. Characters. It mostly featured the girls traveling to different places and getting into cliched mishaps, but it was a great season and a great way to start the show off. With Season 2, a new writing staff was brought in and the animation got a lot better. The plots got a little wackier and mostly dealt with Ami and Yumi trying to do things away from playing in a band. The characterization also got a little deeper, and some episodes dipped into the sadness territory, one being Yumi Goes Solo, which almost had me crying. Although it was hard to top Season 1, Season 2 stepped up its game and pumped more rocket fuel into this show's awesomeness meter. Season 3 took what was established in Season 2 and took it to new heights. The plots got more cartoony, and it started to show that this show was going to go places. The plots often dealt with the girls going on long quests, like Yumi trying to get a new guitar, or a parody of the Odyssey, the girls being sucked into their favorite mangas, and some plots just being used to have nothing but cartoony gags. One highlight I can think of is the episode Sound Off, where Ami and Yumi's cartoon goes completely out of control, and the girls go backstage of a cartoon, and it even manages to make fun of itself in a hilarious way. Yumi are in a cartoon. This season blew the roof off this show, and it showed that this show could go nowhere but up. Sadly, when Season 4 was in production, Cartoon Network decided to cancel the show, leaving only us to imagine where the show could have gone if it continued. Yeah, it sucks that this show got cut so early, but I felt it in at the right time, before the powers that be at Cartoon Network could have turned it stupid. Well, I talked about how much I loved this show, so I might as well talk about how I got into it. I remember when I was in 5th grade when it came out. And like all 12-year-old boys at the time, I didn't give the show a chance, just because it was a girl show. When I saw a promo for the episode Kaz Almighty, and I saw the girls dancing in hula outfits, my puberty mind thought, wow, those girls are hot! I want to see more of them. And so, I watched the episode and got into it. I remember watching it when Cartoon Network had it airing 5 days a week. When 2006 came around, I had no idea when the show was on, bad promoting on Cartoon Network's part, so I was lost. But I then discovered TV.com and found out when future episodes would air. I managed to watch the last 4 episodes that Cartoon Network would show before its cancellation. The cancellation of the show devastated me, as it soon became my favorite show. Plus, I was constantly bullied at school and I didn't have any friends, so this show was my only source for happiness. Optimism you would ever find, and it was all thanks to this amazing show. Bright colors, the music from the amazing band Puffy, and the overall feel of wackiness and cartooniness that I look forward to in a cartoon. And I was glad when all the episodes were uploaded online, so I was able to watch all the ones I missed and appreciate it more as an adult. And I'm going to continue to love this show, even when I feel my fandom for it might not be as strong as it used to be. And there's my third and final salute on Hi Hi Puffy AmiYumi, my all-time favorite cartoon and show. Here is an underrated show that has come closest to feeling like a cartoon from the golden age of animation, not to mention the best thing Cartoon Network ever had its name on. This show has developed a strong cult following with some of the most polite fans you would ever meet. Although most people tried to bash on this show, I looked past the faults and appreciated the positives as they outweighed the negatives. Never has there been a cartoon with characters so lovable, humor so laughable, and wackiness so wacky that I feel that we'll never have a cartoon like it again. I could talk about this show forever, but I like to keep things as minimal as possible. If you love this show, good. If you hate this show, good. But why are you watching this video in the first place? And if you think I'm crazy for this being my favorite show, then I don't want to be not crazy. I'm signing out. I'm going to go make a Chad Pinata and beat it with a lead pipe.